Hi, this is Tutor and this is Proverbs 440. Proverb today is, the house always wins. Okay, somebody wants a screenshot, do it right now. Let's get right to it. If one says the house always wins, it means a casino or gambling house is designed for the casino to clearly net a profit and win the most money, despite some individual winners. By extension, any economic system that is designed to make a considerable profit for the capital holders, who's ever invested in that system, they want to make the most money back, of course. Let's continue. The word house in the phrase refers to a casino, well, at least originally. Actually, the word casino derived from Italian meaning a little house. Yeah, I did a word origin YouTube video on that one a long time ago. I think originally people used to do it in their small houses, and then that's where casinos eventually kind of came from, in Italy. So, thus, house refers to the management of a casino and has extended to other businesses. For example, restaurants, bars, etc. That's why sometimes at a restaurant, maybe if the manager, maybe if your food was late or they spilled something on a customer, they might give you a dessert for free. They might say, this is on the house. The house here means the management. Or if you've ever gone to a bar, this is the way a bartender sometimes gets tips. You buy 2 rounds and maybe he'll give you the 3rd round on the house, but then you're expected to give him a little bit of a tip. So that's usually the system. But they use the term the house, meaning, the management, the people in charge, people who are running it at that time. Let's continue. Thus, the slot machines and other gambling games will always have a clear advantage for the house, or in this case, the management. And even if you win, the longer you play, the more likely it will be likely that the house will win and gamblers will lose. So you might win a lot, but if you keep playing, it means you give a lot back. What you won will go down and go down, and you may even go through all of it, and you may end up walking out losing, even though you were a winner at one point. You were kind of far ahead, but many people do this. They win a lot, and they think they're going to win and win and win and win, and a lot of times they just give it back, and they still end up a loser, when they could have, if they quit while they were ahead, they could have ended up a winner that day. Let's go on. All right, we got 4 examples just to show how this is used. Here's the first one. All right, even if you learn to have skill at gambling, chances are eventually your luck will run out and the house will win in the end. So even if you're a skilled gambler, you may win more than the average person. And you may know when to stop more than the average person, but eventually, the house will probably always beat you in the end. You may win a number of times, and you may win a lot more than average, but you still probably won't beat them. All right, number 2. It's a rigged system. You can't beat them long term. The house always wins. Well, this could be with any system that you feel that way, that you feel like it's fixed. You don't really have a chance of winning. Number 3. One can see an example of the house always wins with most local lotteries. Many claim a 50-50 split. So what does that mean? It means like half the money, if you add up all the amount of money that's gambled, they say like 50% will go out in prizes, and the state or whatever gets to keep the other 50 to use it however they're going to use it. So many of them claim that. But when winners hit big jackpots, they will usually have to give about 50% back in taxes. And in the States, I've seen higher numbers. I've seen in California one time where somebody had to give back like over 70%, especially if he, took it all, he took it all in one go. So, and even sometimes the second place winner may have to pay a little tax too. So when you really figure it out, it's not really so much 50-50. It's probably more like 80-20 or 80-something, and then the teens is probably really the way it is. So the house always wins. Okay. And number 4, be careful about hedge funds. They usually only notify you when you are ahead. Most people who invest in these, or mutual funds too. Hedge funds is usually for big money, but even if a mutual fund, they'll notify you. They always time it so when the market is good and you're more likely to be ahead, and they'll send you this piece of paper that look like, I'm not doing too bad, but by the time you get that piece of paper, you may already be behind. And even if in the long run they do make some money for you, they end up charging you a lot of fees and charges and stuff. So a lot of it actually kind of disappears as well. So they kind of take some of those winnings actually back. They say, oh yeah, we made this money for you, but remember, now you have to pay this charge, you got to pay that fee and that fee. And, basically the house always wins. Okay, anyway, I hope you got it. I hope it was clear. I hope it was informative. Thank you for your time. Bye-bye.